you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, 23 new flag designs selected from over 2,000 entries. Attorney General says court ruling sets precedent. And Parliament is a battlefield. Australian Speaker says debates are important in Parliament. Three new flag designs have been chosen by the National Flag Committee. The committee reviewed more than 2,000 entries during the National Flag competition. Ali Kimbia reports.
The 23 new flag designs will be put forward to the people for their feedback through text messaging, email, social media and email.
The public will now be shown these flags. There will be billboards, this website. You can actually go to this website and show your preference and give your preference. And you can do that right up till the end of the 30th of June.
Public consultations and the feedback period will start now and end on July 1st. The results will be submitted to Cabinet for consideration. Syed Qayyum says certain processes are in place to make sure that a lot of people are involved in giving their feedback.
You can also submit your, of course, your comments, your recommendations, your preferences on the Twitter or the official New Fijian Flag, National Flag website, and of course on the government website. It's got its own Facebook. We've also got talkback shows starting next week, and we've made arrangements where you can go on the talkback shows, and also we'll have people talking about the new designs, but you can also then phone in to show your preference or give your preference.
Cabinet will submit all the feedback to Parliament to vote on the new national flag before it is ready to be hoisted on the 45th anniversary of Fiji's independence on October 10th this year. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Civil Aviation Authority of Fiji is conducting a preliminary investigation into a helicopter crash on Benga. CAF says a helicopter conducting aerial work had foreign object debris strike the main rotor blades on landing, causing damage to the main rotor blades and tail rotor. 3 helicopter crew members were in the vicinity of the helicopter when it crashed, and there were no casualties or injuries. CAF was informed of the incident late yesterday afternoon. Senior management of Island Hoppers in Nadi was not available, and staff in the office would not confirm nor deny the incident. The Attorney General Syed Qayyum says the ruling by the Court of Disputed Returns opens the door for mixing politics and public offices. Syed Qayyum says the two realms must always remain separate. He says given that the ruling of the High Court is final, it may be appropriate for the relevant laws to be clarified through appropriate legislative amendment. Maggie Boyle reports.
High Court Judge Justice David Alfred, who presiding over the Court of Disputed Returns, dismissed the Attorney General's petition against the Electoral Commission yesterday. The petition challenged the awarding of a seat in Parliament to SODELPA's candidate Mikaela Liawere, who was a public officer at the time he was appointed. The Attorney General Syed Qayyum says the case sets an unfortunate precedent.
For example, somebody knows that they're the next one on the line and they hold a public office. Where do you think their allegiance will lie? Will they be able to carry out their work as a public official independently or not? And our argument was that they would not be able to because they're always ready and waiting to become a member of Parliament.
Syed Qayyum adds the ruling has the potential to compromise the political neutrality of public officers, and as such there will be some consideration given to whether or not legislative amendments are needed.
The more of a broader impact on the blurring of the lines between legislature and public official. So, I mean, that's obviously the ruling has been made, and as I said, the written ruling will come out today and we'll be studying that. But in our statement, we've also said we need to study very closely to look at the impact because our government believes in the principle there should be no blurring of lines between being a public official and a member of Parliament.
Section 66, subsection 9 of the Constitution states a determination by the Court of Disputed Returns is final and not subject to any appeal. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fiji continues to face major challenges in meeting the preconditions for a food-secure nation. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama addressed challenges that threatens Fiji's food security at the Food and Agriculture Organization in Rome today. Akusita Tale reports.
The increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters is threatening Fiji's food security. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says the rising sea levels make up the biggest threat to Pacific Island countries.
Volatile commodity prices, low income, low economies of scale, the loss of arable agricultural land, the poor level of efficiency of existing farms, and the need to meet the growing demands of our tourism industry to feed our international visitors and maintain the health of our primary export earner.
Fiji still has a long way to go, and disaster risk reduction in the agriculture sector is still at a developing stage.
Fiji does not yet have an overarching national policy on food security, but I'm pleased to inform you that we are currently working on a holistic program covering agriculture, fisheries, biosecurity, nutrition levels and education.
The Prime Minister also pleaded to more than 1,000 participants from the international community to join the fight against climate change. Bainimarama says together there is a chance to stop the clock at the World Climate Summit in Paris in November. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Parliament is a battlefield for debating on important issues affecting the country, says Australian Speaker of the House of Representatives Bronwyn Bishop. Bishop made the comment while opening the Fiji Parliamentarians Forum on key development issues in Korolevu yesterday afternoon. Christopher Chand reports.
Saying they're two sons of Judah, Madam Speaker.
Parliament can often be rowdy, members interjecting and sometimes behaving in a manner unbecoming of their status.
We are not a polite debating society. We are not a classroom. We are in fact a battlefield where we test out ideas, but we've given up guns, swords and fists, and we fight with words.
With Fiji returning to democracy after 8 years and parliamentary proceedings being new for some MPs, these workshops are helping in their development.
It's very important because the Parliament is where you can test for, ideas, and it is the job of the government to put up its case and to argue it, and it's the job of opposition to agree or disagree if it sees that's the way it wants to go, and that way you can test the ideas. So it's pretty much always going to be a rowdy place.
The four pillars of Parliament: transparency, accountability, development of different forms and informing individual members of Parliament were highlighted.
There can be no higher calling, in my view, than to be an elected representative of the people that you serve, and to have the obligation to ensure that you aspire to give them the best life that they can have. And the stewardship lies in your hands. The concept of public service and being a servant of the people.
24 MPs attended the opening session yesterday. This is part of the Fiji Parliament Support Project, which is a 3-year project to provide support to Parliament following the return to democracy. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Coming up, Fiji Human Rights Commission to rejoin UN Human Rights Council.
Kita boleh guna siapa tu mai, hena guna baru taki na yan rubangi kevika. Na mal to mai buka tali tu na bisere waraki muni na guna baru taki ngo na yan rubangi enam pula FM. Nimbolo benaka, oya wabika na isoro ranyo na tomani o mai na vito na kabiki na tini karuai nung bangi lebu. Ena guna baru taki sekoya na yan rubangi enam pula FM enam bandua ena sere.
Opposition Member of Parliament William Ngavoka is reconsidering his membership on the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economic Affairs. Ngavoka says he is unhappy with the committee. Eleanor Tarangaivu has the details.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economic Affairs was tasked by Parliament to hold public discussions on a petition presented to the House by Opposition Member of Parliament William Ngavoka. It then called for public submissions on the petition, signed by 600 tourism workers, asking for a service fee to be charged to guests for the purpose of supplementing their income.
Out of the 8 organizations who expressed their opinion, 6 were against the service fee, 2 were for it. And I knew that was part of the dialogue, that we needed to hear everyone, including the general public.
In its meeting 2 weeks ago, Ngavoka walked out because he was disappointed that through a vote, the committee cancelled scheduled public hearings for Pacific Harbour, Coral Coast, Nandi, Denarau, Lotoka, Imamanudas and Savu Savu.
I protested very strongly that we had to go through the whole process as we had agreed to, and that the people of Fiji needed to voice their opinion on this. To me, it was very unfair.
Committee Chair Balminder Singh told FBC News this afternoon that while he cannot reveal what transpired in that meeting, he can, however, confirm that they've called off the scheduled public hearings, adding it is Ngavoka's prerogative if he wants to leave the committee. Ngavoka says the opposition chambers has written to the government whip stating its concerns. However, government whip Semi Corella Bissau says he has not received anything in writing, nor has Ngavoka spoken to him about the issue. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
The Fiji Human Rights Commission expects to rejoin the United Nations Human Rights Council soon. Commission Chairman Judge Mohammed Ajmer says since the Commission was recently convened, membership of the UN body is high on its priority list. Fiji was suspended in 2007 from the international governing body after it released a statement in support of the coup in December 2006.
We will get our accreditation. We have already lost our accreditation because of the withdrawal from the international arena. Now we have to regain those accreditation. We will soon receive it.
The suspension then led to the Fiji Human Rights Commission resigning on its own accord from the UN body in the same year. The government has today awarded the tender for the construction of the new Ba Hospital to Yangjian Company Fiji Limited. Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says thorough processes were followed before the company was selected. It will take 15 months to construct the new $35 million hospital, and the company is expected to provide employment opportunities for the people of Ba. Bhavesh Patel, a member of Ba Chamber of Commerce, says the construction of the hospital will address the needs of proper medical service from the people of Ba.
At the outset, the Ba Chamber wishes to thank the PM and the government of Fiji for addressing the dire need of a new medical facilities in Ba and joining hands with Ba Chamber for such ever first public-private partnership in Fiji.
Construction of the hospital has begun at Klopkot Street within the Ba Township. The Methodist Church has stepped up to find ways of combating gender violence with its first gender violence workshop. It involved circuit leaders, youth and men's fellowship representatives from the Central Division. Savara Tambua has more.
It is most important for us.
The Methodist Church is concerned with increasing gender violence and sees a need to upskill leaders and broaden their counseling knowledge.
3 or 4 years, we've been part of other organizations who organize such workshops, but we saw that we couldn't really put it into effective practice amongst our church members and families.
Participants have been reminded that they are the front line of the struggle against the form of evil in their communities.
I'm really pleased to know that now the church is really taking action for the present problem that we are facing.
The Lenavesi Youth Division representative, Biu Koto, says he's looking forward practicing what he has learned.
With this resource, I will try to counsel relationship, counsel young families, and do more advocacy on about the main topic on gender-based violence and child protection.
Also part of the 4-day workshop are the Fiji Police Force and the Fiji Women's Crisis Center. Similar workshops will be organized in the Western, Northern and Eastern Division. Sabaira Tabua, FBC News.
Residents of Nassau Toka village in Corvo have commended Fulton Hogan Limited for constructing road humps in the area. According to the villagers, the road was initially so bad that they had to forbid children from playing near the road. However, the construction of road humps has made it safe for the road users. Fulton Hogan Limited is constructing road humps in 8 other villages along the King's Road. And on that note, we turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Zaki, and good evening. Big games coming up at the end of the week in local rugby and football, with 3 teams still unbeaten going into the 4th round of the Skipper Cup. And the Nandi football side have a chance to secure the GPL title this Friday with 3 rounds to spare in the lead. Details after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 का ये प्रसारण आपके कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है हम कर रहे हैं। याद रखते हैं अभी से लेकर रात 12 तक यह सिलसिला हमारा और आपका चलता रहेगा। दृष्टिकोण में आपका हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं। दृष्टिकोण के तुरंत बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम में। इधर कहते हैं कि गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, दर्द बहुत था दिल में पर हम रोए नहीं, कोई नहीं हमारा जो पूछे हमसे, जाग रहे हो किसके लिए या किसी के लिए सोए नहीं। याद रखें गीत संगीत का तकाजा आपके लिए रात 12 तक आपको हम सोने नहीं देंगे। महकती रातें हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से लेकर 12 के बीच रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
The revamped Nandi rugby side is ready to take on Northland in its 4th round match of the Skipper Cup this week. Setting out to turn the fortunes of the Union around at the start of the season, the Western side is on track so far. Josephine Navula has more.
And Turuba is away, and away goes Turuba. Another try to Nandi. That was a wonderful passage of play from Cyril Reese.
Ranked 3rd and undefeated so far in the Skipper Cup competition, the Nandi Rugby Union has had a good start this rugby season. Team manager Jeff Tamata says at the same time they are focusing on the abilities of the individual players.
We're taking one game at a time, concentrating on each game as it comes. First with Tailevu and with Netasiri, last week with Tavua, and this week with Northland. Preparation, we're still building on developing the young players. As our main aim this year is the development of the new players into the Nindi squad.
Tamata adds there are still areas they need to work on to better their performance after their 27 points to 11 win against Tavua last week.
And from our previous game against last game against Tavua, there's a lot of areas that needs improvement. The coaching staffs are working on it. And come Saturday, before we face Northland, we should be ironing that out.
The team last won the title in 2008. They will be taking on Northland in the double-header match at 3:30 p.m. Before that, Lautoka and Madhuwata will play at 1:30 p.m. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
The Nandi football team could regard its next Galaxy Premier League match this week as its final. Even with 3 rounds remaining in the GPL, a win for the Nandi side this Friday will secure them this year's league title and a spot in next year's OFC Champions League. Josephine Navula has the details.
Leading the Rewa Galaxy Premier League points table with 26 points, the Jet Setters are aiming to a win against Lautoka this weekend.
Every game we play, we aim for 3 points, and this is nothing less than 3 points. We just want to win the game for any cost. Because after that we are playing 2 tough matches, and I think so we need that win against Lautoka and win the league.
The Nandi side knows it will be a tough match.
I think so they play with guts, and I think so Lautoka will be a threat to Nindi, and all the teams Lautoka is threat, but we will prepare all the best.
The team will be without the services of its 3 key players.
Strike force is a little bit down at the moment. We have got only one good striker, it's Dundru. But at the same time, we have got 2 players back from the under-20. I think Tuivuna and Masadi Toma. I think so they'll fit in properly in the front line.
Nandi will host Lautoka at 7:30 p.m. at the Prince Charles Park this Friday. Josephine Vula, FBC Sports.
Fiji football's national senior team has a chance to improve its FIFA rankings when it competes at the Four Nations tournament in Vanuatu starting this Saturday.
All the teams in the Oceania region are at the bottom of the rank, and they will all want to climb up the ladder, and so is Fiji wanting to do that as well. And we thought it was a good opportunity for us to participate in this tournament.
Fiji's first match is against Solomon Islands at 4 p.m. this Saturday. Meanwhile, the under-20 players who returned from the FIFA World Cup will be allowed to represent their respective districts at this weekend's league matches. The team arrived yesterday and will not be part of the senior team travelling to Vanuatu, but have been allowed to participate locally.
Actively, they will not participate in any major event, but if they feel free and if they're okay to participate in the National League, they could do so.
Rewa and Nandi had a number of players who took part at the FIFA World Cup, and it's anticipated that they may feature this weekend. The Rajneesh Parmeshwar Memorial Open Chess Championship will be held in Suva this Sunday. The competition is organized in memory of the late Parmeshwar, who was a chess player himself and showed immense interest in the sport.
It's in honor of a national rep for Fiji who was an under-19 rep close to 2000, and we are honoring him because we lost him in a fatal road accident in 2002. And Rajneesh Parmeshwar is a very talented player. Even I played him. I remember he's very skilled. And being a national rep, I think it's a time our chess fraternity honors him with a huge tournament.
The tournament will be held at Tapu City Conference Room Level 4. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
A delegation from the Marshall Islands will be in Fiji for a series of meetings to discuss investments. The team is hoping to promote business opportunities in the Marshall Islands for Fiji's established commercial entities. Arriving on Sunday, the trade delegation will also market some of its products to potential buyers in Fiji and try to secure MOUs for financial intelligence, business development and free trade. Fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today, apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. A trough of low pressure lies slow-moving over Solomon Islands and extends southeastwards over Vanuatu. Another trough affects northern Cooks. And maximum temperatures remained below 30 degrees today in all the centres, except Ba and Lambasa, which recorded 31 and 32 degrees respectively. Forecast to midnight tomorrow, brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. And our further outlook is for Thursday, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. And the main points again. 23 new flag designs have been chosen by the National Flag Committee. Civil Aviation Authority of Fiji is conducting a preliminary investigation into a helicopter crash on Benga. And the Attorney General Ayers Said Kayum says the ruling by the Court of Disputed Returns on the election of Mikaelele Were to Parliament opens the door for mixing politics and public offices. To our poll question this week, we're asking, should primary school students be allowed to use the internet outside of school? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.